Very good morning, respected panel. Today I'm here to present my course on Environment, Social and Corporate Governance, popularly known as the ESG, under the United Nations Millennium Development Goals. My name is Dr. Ankita Gupta, and I'm currently an assistant professor at Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. In this introduction video, I will be talking about the course objectives, learning outcomes, course structure and unit-wise contents and curriculum, suitability and employability along with the NCRF framework. The course objectives are to apprise the learners about the concept of ESG and its relevance to the corporate economy, to help learners study and analyze the various social, environmental, and corporate linkages resulting in the success of the corporates, to assist the learners in understanding the various laws pertaining to corporate social responsibility, environmental laws, socially beneficial legislations, as well as rules pertaining to corporate governance within the ambit of corporate economy. And finally, to provide the learners with a platform to study the concepts of benchmarking as well as technological implications for the members of the corporate economy. Thereby, the learning outcomes have been identified as to be able to that at the end of the course, the learners will be able to appreciate the importance of ESCGs, appreciate the linkages for success of the company in terms of following of the ESCGs, analyze the laws in India pertaining to corporate governance, corporate social responsibility, etc., and understanding the concepts of benchmarking, monitoring usage of softwares to help how a company can tailor its functioning according to these goals. The course structure can be identified under seven broad themes as I've identified. These are understanding the environment, social, and corporate governance, benchmarking, indices, and assessments, understanding the concept of corporate governance, corporate social responsibility, various social welfare legislations, sustainability and business ethics, and finally, the concepts of environment, bankruptcy, and corporate governance and claims, ending it with understanding the reporting mechanism under the ESGs as well as document drafting. Please note that for the purposes of this video, I'm using the OBS software, and the eligibility and evaluation method would be that any student who has the basic graduation degree can attend this course. It's a 4 credit course spanning over 15 weeks. The credits would be allocated as per the National Credit Framework, and there are going to be self-assessment questions in terms of the SWAM guidelines with 30% internal assessment, 70% of the end-term examination assessment. Comprehensive reading material is going to be provided, along with a weekly one-on-one interaction or discussions with the course faculty. This course is extremely important considering that it works at the intersection of environment, society, and governance structures, with corporates becoming the central theme. Considering that it touches all the spheres with long lasting connections, it is, in my view, extremely important that this course be studied by students who of law, environmental sciences, humanities and management, labor relations, policy making and drafting, professionals who are working with corporates, who are working with merchant bankers, underwriters, strategic planners, management houses, who are involved in policy drafting and execution, working with law firms involved in development and setting up of companies, as well as academicians who are involved with interdisciplinary research. We have also, for the purposes of convenience, I have extracted the week-wise course structure. So week one, we begin with understanding the environment, social, corporate governance. In week two, we look at corporate governance. We are going to dedicate it week two and three on corporate governance, understanding both the national and the international levels. Then in weeks 4 and 5, we are talking about corporate governance, various structures. In week 5, we will also be talking about the various debates like ownership management, minority majority debates, because these essentially help and understand how the decisions within the corporates are being taken, and therefore conflict of interest and disclosure requirements will also be looked at. We are also looking at corporate social responsibility in week 6, And then, when in week 7, we move over to the ESCG matrix, understanding the environment and corporate governance. We will look at various environment legislations, Air Act, Water Act, Coastal Regulations Act, and various disclosures under the Environment Protection Statutes. Week 9, we will look at the various social welfare legislations, including the labor code, consumer protection laws, identifying business ethics, understanding the concept of inclusivity, diversity as part of the culture of corporate growth. We will also be looking at some very specific topics on ESCG benchmarking and monitoring. We will look at the various impact assessment models that exist in order to be able to apprise the students and the learners of how the impact assessment is required to be carried out by a corporate. And therefore, there will be certain practical exercises that will be introduced. Then we will look at sustainability and business ethics. Previously, we have only looked at business ethics as a concept, but here the meaning of sustainability and implementation of business ethics in a sustainable manner is what is going to be looked at. We will then be looking at the various disclosures that are required, the list of documents, how these documents are being drafted, what are the requirements of these documents, because these essentially form the practical framework according to which any person in an organization should be able to function. We will also be looking at the reporting mechanisms as provided under the Global Reporting Initiative, sustainability accounting standards, etc. And we will also look at the manner in which the bankruptcy and corporate governance impact the manner in which the environment, social, corporate governance mechanisms and the linkages thereof are being implemented. For the brevity, I have extracted a module list in which all the 40 modules that will be covered in the course have been identified. In my view, this course is extremely beneficial for those who are working at the intersection of environment, society, commercial aspects, and looking at the governance structures as well. And therefore, I believe that it will be beneficial for them, and we look forward to having you on board in this particular course. Thank you.